I don't know anything about wells.
So yesterday we hitchhiked to a hotel, and hitchhiking went amazingly well. We threw our thumb out in like the fourth car. Some nice lady picked us up, took us to the grocery store, dropped us off at the hotel. Really good experience for hitchhiking. You know, we didn't get raped or murdered. Pretty cool. And then we're walking back today, and we're wondering how hard is it going to be to find a ride back. And a dude just stops us and says, "Hey, you guys going to Neil's Gap?" I'm like, what? You know? So right now I'm riding in the back of his car. He's giving us a ride exactly where we got picked up off. This hitchhiking thing is so much easier. Who would have known? Yeah, I know I look like a murderer or a rapist. I wouldn't pick me up if I saw me on the side of the road. But these people, yeah, they're just kind of used to hiker trash. Not that I'm hiker trash yet, but I'm well on my way. Anyway, so headed back to the trail. Not going to do a whole long day today. We're meeting up with some girl in another couple of miles, so we're just going to walk that out, and our bodies are still hurting from the other day, so I figure it's good to take it easy for a little bit, let my body acclimate. But then we're going to bust out, 20, 30 miles over the next couple of days to make it to the next town where I can pick up the charger for my phone so I can make more videos. But videos are going to be kind of far and few in between like the last few days. I'll try to get anything interesting that happens, but really what is interesting? I'm walking, talking, looking at stuff and thinking, loving it so far. This is good stuff. This is so much better than having a job. See you in a couple hours. Okay, morning of day 4, back at Neil's Gap where we got dropped off. This is the poor tree that everybody throws their shoes in when they quit, is what I hear. I think it's kind of tree abuse. This thing literally has hundreds of pairs floating in it. I think it's kind of sad. Shoes hanging in a bunch of these trees. Wouldn't mind going up there and cutting them all down, but I'm way too lazy to do that. But still, it's kind of sad. Like this tree's getting picked on. All the other trees are making fun of it. Look at all the shoes in you. Spent the day doing almost nothing. Walked a little bit into the first campsite. Gonna hang out here for tonight and do what's called a Nero, which is near 0 miles. Hang out and wait. I've been cruising with a dude named Whiskey Walker, and he walks about the same speed as me. We have decent temperaments that get along well, so I'm gonna hang with him for a little while. See if the trail keeps us together, separates us. It's kind of, even when you're walking with somebody, you can be miles apart from them. You're just gonna meet in the next locale. But might as well hang out with people that are similar to me. It makes it easier. We're gonna hang out here for the night, meet his friend, then put on a few miles. I have to time things out really well to get my charger in the next town, so it's being mailed to me. Got that taken care of, so hopefully everything works out right, timing as well. Missed that storm last night, which was really important. It was nice being in a hotel relaxing because my muscles were so sore. Had no idea how hard downhill would be. But yeah, I'm changing my mind on things. I'm not liking the hammock so much anymore. It's just kind of a bitch to set up and break down. It's taken me about an hour to get everything just like I like it. And still, that's not as comfortable as it should be. So in the next town, I'm going to hit an REI and trade up and get myself a tent just to make life easier. Because those guys are breaking up and setting down in minutes. Seems so much more convenient. So for the next few days, lots of walking and talking. We'll see how it goes. But for tonight, I'm just going to kick it at camp and eat a lot. That's kind of what I'm doing. Later on. It's Saturday, the 6th morning, and I keep waking up really early. Just kind of laying back, watching the stars, watching clouds go by. Nice little windstorm, but it's not bad at all. A little on the chilly side. Didn't do anything yesterday. Got into the little camp that we made. Came back, ate food all day, built a fire. Hung out with lots of interesting people that came by. Ended up making camp with about a dozen people. Got a few dogs, so I didn't even hang a bigger bag. A lot of people were hanging their bear bags, but they're hanging them so shittily. It was, why even bother? I even put a honey bear on the outside of my pack, knowing that there's no way a bear is coming into town with 2 dogs. I'm gonna do about 10 miles today to a shelter, but if that's got too many people for me, there's a camp about 12 miles out. So I'm not doing a real long day or anything. It's only 3:30 in the morning right now, but I can't go back to sleep, so I think I'm just going to get up and go hike for a while. Other than the wind, it's beautiful out. Not a bad Saturday. Day 6, April 1st, Saturday. A couple hours into the hike. Sun's finally come up, but it's kind of hard to tell because it is so gloomy out. This cold fog rolled in this morning. The wind's whipping hard. It was a real pain breaking down camp in the wind. That was my first experience. Everything you have needs to be folded up and rolled up and fit in these tiny little pouches, so small that you're actually kind of proud of yourself when you actually manage to get the damn thing back in. But with it whipping around like that, it was such a pain, and trying to be quiet so I didn't wake everybody up. And then you do it all under a little red light, so everything's the wrong color, so it's hard to match up bags with what came out of the bag originally, because it's all kind of color coordinated. But everything glows an eerie color under a red light. Today's not going to be a bad day though. Probably just doing 12 miles, which really sounds like nothing nowadays. After taking it easy for the past 2 days, none of my muscles hurt. My pack feels so much lighter. I'm starting to get used to it a little bit. But you know, I'm only in my first week. It hasn't had time to really sink in about how bad this is going to suck. Because so far I'm loving every minute of this shit. I'm still wearing all my sleep clothes, like I got leggings on and whatnot, actually 2 sets of leggings, gloves and whatnot. It's pretty cold. It was probably like mid-40s with that cold wet wind blowing through. But it's really nice waking up to the stars. Didn't sleep with my rain cover on last night because that thing is just such a pain in the ass to set up. I'm totally switching to a tent. But just waking up and having all those stars shining above me, pretty damn sweet. But everything out here is a lot nicer. Everything's just cooler when you have nothing to stress about. I don't have any worries of the real world. My only worry is putting food in my face and getting to the next location. I can handle those stresses in life. Well, back to it. I'll check in later if something interesting happens. I just ran into Jim and Shelly. I've ran into them every single day since I started. Day 1, they were actually headed in the opposite direction of me. Now, I've never seen them pass me, and I've always slept near the trail. But every day, they're somehow a few miles ahead of me. I pass them as they're breaking camp. We stop, chat for a little bit. But I've never hiked with them, nor camped with them. But I think they're the people I run into the most. Cool couple, friendly people. But everybody out here is pretty cool and friendly. Haven't met a dick yet. Even I'm being all nice to everybody, but I know I'm a nice guy and a jerk at the same time. It's a skill set. These are what my views have looked like for the past few days. I'm pretty sure on camera all you see is gray mist. That's mostly what I see, but every once in a while you can see an open patch and see that this does go on forever. But I haven't really been treated to any of those views yet. But this is kind of cool in its own way. Sometimes you can see the clouds going overhead and it's like being under the ocean, watching the waves break above you. Sometimes the clouds get pulled down into a little funnel cloud, make a little cloud tornado as it goes across. This isn't stuff I see every day. Gorgeous. Oh, found kind of a view here. But I'm not at the top of a mountain. I'm like at least halfway down the side. Probably heading up these bad boys. If I had to guess. There's some cliffs up there I'm hoping to get to, but I don't know where the path will take me. This is what is known as trail magic. Nice people, generally former thru hikers, come and help you out in some sort of way. It looks like they have a smorgasbord to give away. Sweet, who doesn't love free food? Let's see how this goes. coming down over the mountain, I could smell this place. You know, and then it got to the point where I could see it and hear it. But these guys come along, Echo Ministries, and they set up a spread for us hikers. You know, they got all sorts of cool stuff, all sorts of supplies that one might need, and I did lose my toothbrush, so that was really good timing. All sorts of food and treats, and just take as much as you want. It's all free. They're just taking care of us. They call this trail magic. This is kind of my first experience. I mean, I had that guy giving out, you know, moon pies a while back, which was very nice. I enjoyed my moon pie, but, you know, not much compares to this. I can get used to this. Free food just for walking? Oh, yeah. No, it was really cool of those guys to help us out like that. I grabbed like a pound worth of stuff from those guys. Hamburgers, hair ties. I forgot to bring hair ties. My hair was getting out of control. Of course, he wanted to come over and hit me up about Jesus, which I'm totally cool with because that's the whole reason he's there. You know, so I let him do his thing. Of course, I explained to him what he was dealing with. You know, I didn't want him all on uncertain grounds with me. And, you know, I let him pray for me. That was the second guy so far that came over and, like, wanted to pray for me. Because normally when people say, I'll pray for you, they're saying, I'm going to laugh at you while you're burning in hell. That's totally what they're saying. It's like an insult. But these guys genuinely wanted to do it. So, you know, who might have burst their bubble, so let them do it. But I did notice my prayer lasted like 4 minutes as to everybody else he prayed for. It was like a 30-second deal, like he was trying to pray the devil out of me or something. But small price to pay. You know, he had good intentions, so you know, it's not that weird in my world. People randomly come up to me and pray for me, which, you know, I don't know if that happens for the rest of you, but you know, when you're me, that's kind of how it goes. So I'm probably like 6-7 miles into this, not real far. That's like, I don't know, somewhere near halfway. I think I'm gonna go maybe 12 is what I'm expecting. I like that in my mind that sounds like a small number. Can't wait to actually try to get some 20s and 30s in there. Let's see if that shit actually happens. You know, I generally set lofty goals. Let's see if I can beat them. I peed on my kilt. That's right. You heard me. I peed on my kilt. Went to go do my thing. And there's this piece of fabric that hangs down there called a modesty flap, I believe they call it. And he was doing what it's supposed to do, being in the way. But it sounded different, so I looked down, and yeah, peed on my kilt. I have decided to take a nap because I can do that whenever I want now. Just gonna bask in the sun for a little bit. The day's almost over. I've already walked a good 11.5 miles. The campsite's just up over the hill. But that's where everybody's gonna be, so I don't know if I really want to be there. This is a decent little camp spot. There's some open ground and whatnot, so I'm gonna hang out here, wait for some of the peeps that I've been walking with to show up. Oh, I got ants on me. That's a big old ant. Don't debate me. Anyway, wait for some peeps that I've been walking with to show up, see what people's want to do, but I'm pretty sure I'm crashing here tonight. Later. So I'm camped here tonight. That's Rowdy, her dog Steve. I decided to just set up my rain fly as a tent. Just gonna sleep in there on that piece of Tyvek. Got my inflatable mattress. I should be pretty comfortable. Just getting sick of setting up that hammock every night. That thing takes way too long. So I'm gonna camp here. Not a real good view, but you know, still a nice place. I could have walked farther, but I was lazy. I stopped at 12. I'm just gonna find some firewood, burn some stuff, eat some stuff, go to sleep, and start again probably at like 4 or 5 a.m. Good times. It's gonna be cold and rainy for the next few days. My sleep system does not work, so I have to get into town tomorrow and buy myself some new equipment. It has to happen. I hate the cold. Hate it, but it's gonna get down into 30 degrees in the next couple of days, so I have no choice. I have to go take care of this. Good times. Got a challenge ahead of me, but I'm up for this. Day 7. I've survived a whole week out here. Not that bad. Easier than I thought it'd be. I'm digging the tent setup. Not much to look at, but it is so much easier being able to get dressed and ready inside of something than it is to crawl out into the cold. Speaking of cold, it's going to get cold as hell over the next few days, so I need to get to town and get a tent.
gonna be cold and wet. The wet part's what I'm concerned about. So, just get our ass up. Something woke me up this morning. I thought it was a woman yelling, but now I'm thinking it was an owl, but it still scared me, whatever it was. I woke up, I was like, what's that? What's that? But then it made a weird noise that was animalistic, so I knew it wasn't a person. But, you know, it scared me, so here I am, I'm up. Time to get to it. This is where I make my food. Very simple. Tiny little gas stove. And a tiny little pot. That's what I do all my cooking on. It's my coffee, my oatmeal, my dinners. Everything on this tiny little stove. So far, so good. It actually suits me pretty well. I see people with some really fancy things, but the simplistic stuff is really working for me so far. I'm not afraid to upgrade if I find something really nice, but I got that. Got my little coffee cup. What more do I need? There's a little slice of heaven.
7 days in, and I gotta say, this has been an awesome experience so far. Good for me on so many levels. Waking up in a good mood, walking in a good mood, sleeping in a good mood. I got like 7 hours of sleep last night. That's the most I've gotten in the woods so far. It was good until something screamed and scared me. Pretty sure it was an owl, but turns out I don't know what owls sound like. This is probably the first time in my life I've been free. Nothing is expected of me at all by anybody, anywhere. And I can just do whatever the hell I want. I mean, I don't even have to walk. That's not in the rule book. I could just like camp out here for 6 months. Probably wouldn't be as happy as that because it is nice having a goal. But I don't have to do anything. I just have to not die. That's my job right now. Don't die. I've been doing it pretty well so far. But it's easy to say the weather hasn't been truly horrible, and I did hide from that one storm. But I don't want to get in the habit of hiding from storms. We're supposed to have some pretty decent cold ones, hail, a couple inches of rain, high winds for the next few days. So I got to score a tent. I do not want to try to survive that in my hammock. It's a good idea in theory, but getting out here and the reality is different. I got to send that thing home. But I don't even know how to set up the tent, you know, so I'll probably get it and end up setting it up my first time in the rain. But that's how you learn. That's how you learn. Man, this is just good stuff. You guys should try freedom sometime. I mean, whatever your version of it may be, mine happens to be walking right now. It's not like this was some lifelong goal of mine. Didn't dream of walking the AT growing up like a lot of these cats do. I learned about this like 6-8 months ago, and I was like, oh, that looks like fun. And here I am. And it's not nearly as scary as I thought it was. I mean, like 3-4 days before this, my butthole was puckered all day long. I'm like, oh my God, what am I getting into? Now that I'm here, man, I don't want to be anywhere else. I can take a few places, but you know, nonetheless, this is awesome. You should try it. It's too bad I don't need water, because that looks like it'd just be really clean. It just filters down through all those rocks. It's crazy, there's kind of stuff everywhere around here. Just water coming out of rocks all over the place. Yeah, I knew water came from, but you know, just being from the desert, I've never really seen it like this before. And it still amazes me. And quite often I'm not even filtering my water. I'm just straight drinking it. If it's coming out of a rock, it can't be any cleaner. That's at least what I'm going with. This is a severe violation of safety protocol. Gotta walk under this thing. What happens when it snaps? Where's OSHA of the woods when you need them? I know I keep tripping on this, but just how we're getting water out here is just impressive to me. Just coming right out from under that rock. There's no water above it anywhere, but right under this rock is where it's coming from. That's pretty impressive to me. I'm not gonna bother filtering that either. I'm just straight drinking it. Tastes good and clean though. That's all I care about. Well, I guess I care about more than that. Once I have diarrhea from drinking the wrong thing, I'll probably change my tune. But until that happens, this looks good enough to drink.
Until I leave.
I'm staying in a room with these weirdos. Just met these cats on the trail. It's weird how the trail works. You just meet people and you end up sharing a room with them. We're gonna be heading into town in a little bit. I gotta get my tent. We gotta get some hamburgers and shit as well. You know, priorities, get our laundry done. But yeah, we're gonna ride out tonight and then head out tomorrow. Unless the storm's too bad, I might puss out and hang out here again. Caught a ride into town. I think I'm in Hiawassee right now. Nice name. Hiker trash all over the place. It was like a 20-minute ride from the trail. I'm gonna be dropped off there again tomorrow. Right now I'm walking over to an outfitter that I hear is just down the road and score me a new tent. Yeah, kind of excited about it. I've never really been excited about a tent before, but I am this time. Oh, hell, I'm sunburned. The sun kind of hurts on me. Somehow I burned my nose under a hat. How does one do that? But I did that. But yeah, I'm on the hunt for a tent. Later. It's Sunday, so everywhere in this podunk town is closed, so I'm forced to stay here for at least a night. Not that I wasn't planning to anyway, but I need a tent. I cannot continue on without a damn tent. So there's 2 outfitters within walking distance, and of course both of them are closed on Sundays. What is up with that? But yeah, I'll be here tomorrow anyway. Unfortunately, they don't open up until later in the day, like 10 and 11. And hell, 10, 11, that's half my day gone by then. Rawr! Oh well, live and learn, live and learn. Right now I'm doing the hiker trash thing, walking down the way with most of my clothes off, you know. It's a hiker town, they should be used to it. If not, they'll get that way.